people. I know you're watching me. Because you want to see why I wanted my hair brown instead of black. Well, the other day, I'm drinking Angry Orchard. The other day, I was at TJ Maxx with my bestie, and she showed me this dress, and I was like, you know what, that looks like a foreign dress. And I put it up on me, and I was like, I look like an Indian woman. Because I had a black curly hair, and then this dress that looked foreign, I was like, I look like an Indian woman. Now, I am Indian, but that's besides the point. The point here is, I don't care what I look like. The point is, hold on here, I'm going to show you something. This hair, okay, I'm going to try to grow out. And I know you don't care, but I'm going to show you anyway. Oops. So this hair, okay, I know it looks crazy. You just shut up. But this hair is actually longer than it looks. It's actually all the way down here. Okay, now I know it's all the way up here, but it's all the way down here. And, you know, when I don't have it up for 500 hours, it actually looks nice down. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about what it looks like. Right? So you see right here, oh, it's actually down here. So I'm trying to grow it down to my knees. Okay. And when I was in Hawaii, when I was like, what, 6 years old, my hair used to be this beautiful gold color. And the reason why it was that color was because I was outside in 80, 90, 100-degree weather, whatever, and the sun, the UV rays would penetrate my hair follicle and over time turn it lighter. So over the years my hair became gold. And that's actually my goal. So that's why my hair, I lightened it to the natural color almost. And that's what I'm doing. My goal is to have that gold hair color and to have it down to my knees. So down to my knees would actually probably be down to my waist. So it's gonna be gold, big, gold, and down my waist. That's my goal. And if not, I'll just bleach it a little bit, bleach bath, the whole thing, because you know what, bleach is good sometimes. And my friend made me these earrings, so they're little axes. She made them. And then I found these earrings, the Halloween ones, from Kohl's. They're little skulls. Go to Kohl's if you want some Halloween earrings. They also have some cool ones at Ollie's right now. Yeah, I said it. But these are my axe earrings. You could probably penetrate somebody's skin with this if you really wanted to attack them that bad. You just right in the eyeball. You know, I feel like goth jewelry is no joke. Like the spikes and the purse with the spikes, you could really whip somebody's ass with that. These, you could poke somebody's eye out. That's okay. That's okay. If you ever get attacked, just fuck it up, bitch. So I used to have the black hair. Now I like the black hair, but like, honestly, I feel like the gold hair will be better with my skin color. Because right now I got a tan, and like the tan with the gold, like, even though I love, you know, goth fashion, and I love, you know, dark fashion, like, so my favorite two styles are kind of pastel goth and goth. That's my favorite two styles. I do like scene a lot too, so I do have some scene stuff in my closet. It's just very little compared to like the goth stuff. The goth I have the most. I have everything black pretty much. The majority of my closet's black gothic stuff, and then the, you know, some of it's pink. Pink is actually my favorite color, believe it or not. Pink is my favorite color, and I love pastel goth. So I went on Temu. Okay, and I bought a whole bunch of stuff because they said I get some items for free. But here's the drawback. The free items aren't really free. And I'm not going to do this again, okay? But they said, oh, you can get these items for free if you make a purchase. So I made a purchase, and then I unlocked the item for free. And then you have to buy a $10 purchase to get the item for free. So I did that about 7-8 times. And spent about $100 to get all these items for free. Did I actually get the items? I'm not... I mean, they shipped them, okay? Some of them are pre-order items, and they shipped to me, but I didn't get them yet because I just literally put in the order like 5 days ago. 5 to 10 days ago. And I got a lot of tank tops. I'm a tank top hound. I love tank tops. I got 2 sweaters, one from Shein, one from Temu. The Temu one's the one where they give you the free things, but they're not really free. I want to make that very clear. If you ever shop on Temu, that shit's not free. You need to make a purchase and then you unlock it after you make the purchase without the free item. And then you make a $10 to $30 purchase and then you get the item for free. So it's not really free. Don't let technically it is, but you have to make a large amount of purchases to make it free. So it's technically not free. So if you choose a free item, quote unquote, make sure it's an expensive item. Because my last item I got was a $17 shirt. And bitch, that bitch cute. It's this little gothic baby doll shirt. Okay, with little puffy sleeves, little baby doll collar with lace, and then it's got a little skull with crossbones embroidered in the side. Now, hopefully it's embroidered. It looks embroidered. Bitch. But is it really? That's the question. Now, I'm trying to grow my hair down to my knees. Is it down to my knees now? No. So the longest I've ever had my hair, I'm going to show you, is this long. So I know that might sound long, but when your hair's curly, it's actually this long. Okay, so that's why I want to grow it down to here. That way it's actually down to here. You hear what I'm saying? So my goal is to have long curly pigtails by the time I'm 47. Now that gives me a long time. And what I'm going to need to do is have my natural hair. And what I'm going to need to do is have healthy habits, get my vitamin D, and go outside. If you have naturally curly brown hair with like a red tint in the light, that means it can be lightened to gold naturally by the sun. My goal is to do that in the next 7 to 15 years. And I know that sounds like a long time, a long commitment. But I'm sure I could do it if I spend a lot of time outside. Now, I lived in Hawaii at the time, so Hawaii doesn't have winter. So Hawaii, you're literally summer all year long. So that's different. So that's why I'm giving myself years and years and years. That way over time it will lighten, because it will lighten over time. But it's not going to be one summer most likely. Maybe. Unless I'm really, really, really crazy and spending all my time outside. But most likely it's going to take years. And I'm okay with that reality. Because I'm ready to grow my hair out, first of all. Because my hair is super thin right now. No, I want you to look at it. You know, you might not look at it and go, oh my God, it's super thin. Okay? To you, it might not look thin. But to me, this is extremely thin. Because my hair did fall out because I dyed it black. And I used black people's hair dye when I did it because my mom said, oh, it's so great. No, do not. I think there's an anti-black agenda because I used that and I swear to God, handfuls of hair came out. But when I used the white people black hair dye, no hair came out except for maybe 2, 3, 5 strands. I shit you not. There is an anti-black agenda when it comes to these box hair dyes. Do not buy the black people hair dyes. Buy the white people hair dyes. I'm not even fucking joking. I'm not even fucking joking. My hair was falling the fuck out when I used these black people hair dyes. No, I'm not black, but my hair, look at it. It's curly, it's textured, and a lot of people think I'm part black. And guess what? I do too, way back when. I think all people came from black people because I believe in evolution. But a lot of people think, oh, white people just came from the stars. Bitch, no, they didn't. They're not aliens. They came from black people. And black people, and I'm going to be honest, I think came from apes. Because I think I'm an ape. I think white people are apes, and I think black people are apes too. I think we're all apes. Not in a racist way. In a, I evolved from monkeys way. And I'm being 100% real with you. I'm not racist. I love everybody. But yes, I think everybody's an ape. You know, the white people are the silverbacks, and the black people are just black. You know, they're the black ones. You know, and I'm just a brown poodle monkey. And that's fine. You know, and I know a lot of people are going to go, you really said that. It's going to take a brown person to say this. Because if a white person does, everybody's going to freak out. Because they're white. If a black person does it, nobody's going to care. Because they're black. No, there is black people. I've seen this black guy. He made a joke about being a gorilla. And you know what? In a weird way, I agree with you. But in a weird way, I also don't. I mean, clearly we're very intelligent beings. We're not gorillas. We're evolved Homo sapiens. We're not gorillas. But do I believe we evolved from apes? Yes. I believe we are apes. Every one of us. And even though we don't see ourselves as apes necessarily, I do see everybody as an ape of some sort. And I hate to be this person, but yes, I think everybody's an ape. The black people, the white people, the Mexicans. Everybody. Do I think that it's a racist thing? No. I just believe in evolution. And that's the reason. Now, I know this might be controversial. A lot of the things I say might be a little controversial. And because this is just how I think. I think that we're all apes. And I could just tell this to my mom. I could tell this to my friends. They wouldn't even care. And I'm just being 100% honest with you. If this makes you feel upset, I'm sorry. I really am, but you're not my friend. Or maybe you are and you're just very sensitive. And if you're that sensitive, well, I'd hate to say this. I really would. I'm sorry. But I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be anything. It's just this is how I think. And yes, I think everybody's an ape. Everybody. It's not a racist thing because we're all humans and I think every human's an ape. There's not just one person over the other. It's everybody. I think I'm an ape. Is that okay? I think it is. I think that's great. I think I've evolved to know that we're all apes. When I eat a banana, do I feel ape-like? Yes. Why? Because I feel like a little monkey. Is that okay? I think so. Because I have monkey hands. Monkey opposable thumbs. Yeah. Monkey nose. Monkey lips. Monkey skin. That's definitely going to be controversial. Monkey everything. And you know what? Who cares? I think people need to shut up. I think people need to shut up and be funny. Who cares? It's not that serious. It's not a hateful thing, you know, when I say this. It's not. It's not hateful at all. In fact, it's funny. I love everybody. I really do. I just genuinely enjoy everybody. If you talk to me and you're funny, we'll be having a laugh. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I think racism is hateful. Is this hateful? I don't think so. Personally, I do not hate anybody. I do not hate any race. I'm not racist. I'll date any race. I'll do anything, you know, as long as the person I have good energy with, if I'm sexually attracted to them, you know what I'm saying? I'm not racist. Like, I do think that if someone says, oh no, I won't date a whole race, I think that's racist because you literally, you know how many millions and millions and millions of people are in one race? That's crazy. I think you need to go to that country and realize how wrong you really are. Because there's attractive people of every fucking race. I'm not joking. Indian people. I saw a documentary about Indian people, and there's some of the most beautiful people I ever seen, with the beautiful fucking green, blue eyes with the darkest skin and the coolest fucking black straight hair. That shit was beautiful. Okay? I'm Indian. You know what else I think I am? Black. Why? Because I think we all came from black people. And that's okay. Do I think that black people... I don't even know what I was going to say. You know, there's a lot of stigma around black people. You know, I feel like a lot of the mixed people that I work with, mixed like brown with curly hair, that's like me, looking mixed, whatever you want to call it, I feel like a lot of them hate black people. And that's the mixed males, okay? This is my experience in my life. A lot of the mixed males have a stigma around the black people of black, you know, black. And I'd have to disagree with that. A lot of black people, now, there's a good black people and there's the bad black people. Just like there's a good white people and there's the bad black, you know, white people. There's a good Asian people, there's the bad Asian people. There's all kinds of people in the world. Is every person of every race gonna be nice? No. Is every person of every race gonna like you? No. Is every person of every race gonna think you're attractive? No. That's just life. And that's okay. But some of these men that I work with in the past and today, they really don't like black people. And I'm really confused as to why that is, because, you know, maybe their parents are black. Like, I know one of the guys I used to work with in the past said that his dad was black, and he always called him the N-word. And you know what? I could see, and he'd always ask me, why did my dad do this? And I'd be like, well, I don't know. That sounds like you're traumatized, if you're asking me. You know, and I genuinely thought he was. And, you know, genuinely, you know, maybe he has his reasons for that. And who am I to judge if you have your reason, you know, if you have your reason for that? So I'm going to share a story. I'm going to share the story as to when I almost got kidnapped by a Hispanic man. And this really happened, okay? So, am I racist against Hispanics? No, I'm Hispanic. I want to make that very clear. I'm almost every race in the whole world. Me. I'm Asian, Indian, European, white. European, white go together, by the way. If you didn't know that, some people don't know that. I don't know why. Some people don't know that. But, you know, European, white. And then, you know, Hawaiian. I'm Hawaiian. I don't know if you people knew that, but Hawaiians are brown with curly hair, okay? So I like to say that I'm kind of, you know, black with white features. So, like, my nose, if you see me in real life, my nose is even smaller than it is on camera, okay? I don't know, like, my lips, small. You know who else has small lips? A lot of white people. Now, I'm not saying that every white person has small lips, but I say, you know, a lot of white people, European people, have smaller lips, and that's what I have. You know, freckles, I'd say that's a European feature because, you know, I don't know a lot of black people that have freckles. I don't know a lot of Indian people that have freckles, but I have freckles, and I feel like that's a European feature. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And my hair turns blonde when it's, you know, under UV rays for, you know, years and years, and I feel like that's somewhat of a white, you know, feature. Now, I'm not trying to say anything, but I'm saying that, you know, white features, you know, if you see me in real life, now I know you look at me and you say, oh, you look brown to me. Well, I am brown, stupid bitch. But what I'm trying to say is that the features, you know, like a feature film, you know how a lot of, you know, black people have, you know, thicker features, like the, you know, thick lips, pretty big lips, you know, and, you know, thicker nose. You know, I don't have that. Now, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to say, you know, that's a feature that I see in some white people that makes me think that they're part black, is because they have huge lips and, you know, maybe a thicker nose. And that's okay. I'm not saying it's unattractive. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that that's a feature that a lot of these races have. Like, for example, Asian. You know, Asians, you know, sometimes have the big lips and the big nose. If they were black, they'd look black. You know what I'm saying? Like the Asians, their features look black, but they're white. And that's something that I want to talk about too. Because I feel like a lot of Asian people sometimes, not all the time, But I talked to this Asian man on Instagram, and he's making jokes about black people. And I was like, well, I was making jokes too. No, it's a joke. People are racist sometimes as a joke. And a lot of people don't understand that. Because they're like, oh my God, you do that? It's a joke. It's not real. You're not hurting somebody. You're not doing it out of hatred. Okay? It's not out of hatred. If you're doing it out of hatred, that's different. Like, if you genuinely fucking hate a race, that is racism. If you do not hate a race, but you're making a joke, like, you're making a joke about, an Indian person's accent. As an Indian, I have Indian heritage, okay? Now, I'm not, I don't speak Hindu. I'm not necessarily, from India, but I have Indian heritage. I'm going to be honest. I used to be a little racist against Indians when I was younger. When I was, 14 to 16. Why? I don't fucking know. There's no reason. I just did. And then later I found out I was Indian. And that's okay. I kind of got rid of that, during my adulthood. And then I found out I was Indian. And that made a lot of sense to me because the way I look. I don't quite look black. I don't quite look white. I don't quite look Asian. I don't quite look Indian. I look like a mixture of all of them because I am. And that's the truth. I am a mixture of all kinds of races in the whole world. Hispanic, Indian, white, black, everything. Hawaiian, which is, in my head, a type of Native American because technically they were native to the Americas before the Americans went, oh yeah, let's get Hawaii. So technically, Native American, Hawaii. Pacific Islander is Native American in my head. Also, I'm related to Hawaiian royalty. And I have a newspaper article that states this with my great-great-grandfather or whatever he was. My mother has that. I don't know where it is, but I can actually, if I ever become popular online, I will show you guys that. But she's got it somewhere, like in the attic or whatever the fuck, in her fucking closet. I don't know where the fuck it is. She's the one with the fruit. Like, my whole life I was always skeptical. I was like, is that true? But I really saw it. It was a literal article, okay, with my great-grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather. I don't know how many greats it was. It was great-great-great, at least, I believe. At least 2 greats. And his name was there. And they were talking about how he was Hawaiian royalty. And that's what we are. Technically, the Hawaiian palace should be ours. Our whole families. But guess what? The government took a hold of that because they're assholes. And they do a lot of other stuff that's not allowed. Why even make rules if you're not going to follow them? That's the question. To keep the people in place, well, you're a person too. You should follow them too. That's what I think, but whatever. And I'm going to be honest. Everybody can be racist as a joke. That does not mean that you hate a race. And I want to make this very clear. I can take a fucking racist joke, okay? Just because it's a racist joke does not mean you're a hateful, racist motherfucker. There's a difference between being a hateful, racist, ignorant motherfucker and being a person who thinks it's fucking funny. I think it's funny. And I'm one of those people. I think racism can be funny to some extent. If it's truly based on hate, I don't think that's fucking funny. If you hate a whole race, that's not fucking funny. But if you just fucking jest and joke about certain things like an accent or the way people do things, I think that's okay. Because, it's stereotypes. And stereotypes, they're stereotypes for a reason. Like black people liking fried chicken or watermelon. I think that's okay. I think watermelon, black people jokes are fine. I don't think that's racist. I just don't. Racism to me is hatred. Do I think that jokes about black people liking watermelon are hatred? No. I think people who yell at me and call me the N-word because this has happened, are racist and hateful. Why? Because that's an act of hate. And that's the difference, is joking versus hatred. And that's the difference. So I've had, I'm a brown person, okay? Don't get me wrong, I'm not white. I don't have white skin. Were both of my parents white-skinned? Yes. I have recessive genes, and this does happen if you know anything about genetics. Where you get a recessive gene, you turn, your hair's curly, your skin's brown. That's what I have. Me and my sister. And my dad's Hispanic, don't get me wrong, but he was white-skinned. Did he have dark hair? Yes. My mom, she's white-skinned, but she tans really well. She has freckles, green eyes, and she's Hawaiian in her heritage. So her hair is wavy, textured, but she still passes as white. You know what I'm saying? So we're very exotic in this family, so the genetics are fucked. So you never know what you're gonna get. My son, I mated with a white man, and my son is white passing. He looks white, his hair texture is white, his hair and his skin are white, and he tans a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Brown eyes, he's a beautiful boy. And I'm just being honest, genetics are weird like that. You never know what you're gonna get. I thought my son was gonna, have curly hair, brown skin. No. You never know what you're gonna get. Whether it be two light-skinned people, two brown-skinned people, one black, one white. I've seen one black, one white have a white-haired, white-skinned, blonde-haired, blue-eyed person and with a black parent. I've seen that. And that's beautiful. And so are the people that have, two white people can have a brown baby. And that has happened. I'm one of those people. Technically. I mean, they weren't white European, both of them, but, they were mixed white, but they were white skin toned. That's what I'm saying. White skin toned. And, that happens sometimes. I've seen two mixed looking people have blonde hair, white babies. You never know what you're going to get. And that's the beauty of genetics. It's kind of like having two different colored cats. The two different colored cats can have all kinds of cat colors, depending on their genetics. What's in their grandpa's heritage, whatever's in their, family line. And that's fine. And it's the same thing with people. I think a lot of people are, they think, oh, a white person has to have a white baby with another white person. That's not necessarily the case, because I'm going to tell you something. One of my mom's extremely white passing friends has a black grandpa, and she's blonde with blue eyes and white skin. And she has a black ancestor, black. Okay, and she looks white. Okay, just because you're white does not mean that you're not part black. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of white people, they go, oh, I'm just white. I don't believe you. Why? Because I think we all came from black people. Plus, you could be Hispanic. You could be this and this and that and not even know. You could be Indian. You could be Hawaiian. You could be, whatever. And not even know. Japanese. Chinese. Oh my God. When my mom got her heritage checked, we had thousands of Chinese ancestors. Thousands. The majority of her ancestry was Chinese. So I am Chinese. Believe it or not. Do you see it? Because I do. When you really look, you see every race. And that's great. Because I think it's great. I think it's beautiful that I have every race. That's real rare. I think that's really rare. Because a lot of people, they don't. A lot of people are just mainly white, mainly black. I got every race. Chinese, Japanese, Indian, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, fucking European, Indian, not Indian, fucking Italian, French, fucking everything. Swear to God. Raise the roof. Do I think that it's okay to be racist? No. Do I think it's okay to do racist jokes? Sometimes. Depending on the joke. If the joke's hurting somebody's feelings, you should apologize. Okay? That's my 2 cents. If you're hurting somebody's feelings, I don't think that's okay. You gotta apologize to that person. But if it's online, that's different, because you can't keep track of every person's feelings. If they get hurt by something you said, that's kind of on their own accord, and they should probably just turn you off. I'm just being honest. But, you know, if they could take a joke, I feel like that's cool. Yeah, I could take a joke here and there. Like, there's this guy on YouTube that talks about how dirty Indian food is. You know, sometimes it's a little bit insulting, but I still be watching it. Because I'm part Indian, and I love Indian food. First of all, Indian food is amazing. If you have never tried Indian food, you need to try it. You know, but some of the Indian food, you know, they have like rats eating off of it. And, you know, I can understand why they think it's a little dirty. But you gotta keep in mind, this is another country. They don't have the health regulations that we have. Would I still eat it? As an American, yes. Why? I don't know. That's just my personal thing. If I'm in another country and that I'm in a different culture and I eat their food, that's okay with me. As somebody who traveled to their country knowing this, I would still eat it. Would I eat at a pastry shop full of bees all over the pastries? Yes. Why? Because I like nature and I don't care. It's food, it's sustenance, it's calories to help you survive, and even though other creatures are feeding off of it, I personally don't care. But I can understand why other people would care. And that's just my 2 cents. This is my fur chair that I got from Walmart. It's a lavender one. It's very beautiful. It's like $30. I wanted to get a black one too, but I never did. But yeah, would I want to eat food with flies on it? Now that's a different story. I know flies are fucking gross. They be landing on shit. Bees, I could do. But flies, rats, you know, I don't know. I guess it just depends. The flies, maybe. Depends on if I'm that hungry and what country I'm in. I guess maybe I would, yes. You know, I mean, even in my own home, flies land on my food, I still eat it. It's the same kind of thing. You know, if a fly lands on your food, hopefully it didn't lay eggs. But if it did, well, extra protein, I guess. And it can't hatch in your body. Fucking Christ. The environment's not, you know, good enough. But, I don't know where I'm going with this. Where I'm going is a different direction than what I thought I was going. I'm so crazy. I gotta go tinkle, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you resonated with any of what I said, like and subscribe. Yeah, I don't know, why not? But I'll see you guys in the next one. I literally just talk sometimes, just for 33 minutes apparently. Just saying whatever, and drinking Angry Orchard. Now, this is only this empty, but it's okay, I'm still gonna drink. And maybe I'll make another one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you liked any of my things that I said, please be specific. And if you didn't like what I said, I'm sorry, first of all. I'm not trying to be racist, obviously, and I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. You know, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings online. It's not nice. I don't like hurting people's feelings. But, you know, I'm a human being. Everybody hurts somebody's feelings here and there sometimes. Yeah, it's just human. You know, you're a human being. Sometimes you hurt your boyfriend's feelings. Sometimes you hurt your girlfriend's feelings. It's the same thing, you know. Sometimes you hurt your mom's feeling, your dad's feeling, grandma, you know, auntie, uncle, you know, nephew, niece. Sometimes you do, and that's okay. You're a human being. And it's not your job to make everybody like you. That's my whole spiel. And, you know, if you didn't like what I said, maybe be specific. And then, you know, if you didn't like it that much, then leave. Or you could just leave. You don't even have to tell me. Because, you know I'm offensive on this channel, and that's okay for me. If it's not okay for you, then you have the right to just go away. And that's great. That's a great thing about it, is that you could just leave. You don't even have to say anything, because I think that that's kindness. Just not saying anything. Or if you think that I was really, really wrong and awful, you could tell me that, but am I going to listen? Maybe not. Because this is my personality. And I feel like I should be true to who I am, regardless of, you know, the thoughts of other people. You know, some people are more sensitive than others, and that's okay, but, you know, I think that some people are just too sensitive, and that's okay. You could be too sensitive, but, you know, if you're too sensitive, this probably isn't the channel for you. I'm very obscene on this channel. I talk about labia, I talk about pussy lips, I talk about squirting, I talk about all kinds of stuff you never even wanted to talk about. And that's really the truth. I talk about all kinds of stuff. Epstein files, I talk about fashion, this and this and that, not caring about people. I talk about all kinds of stuff. Self-help, you know, if you need help mentally, I can help you with that probably. I've been through stuff, but yeah, that's really it. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.